The dust hasn't even settled. The plane hasn't even been cleaned. And guess what? Tim Steidten is off to Brazil. Let's talk about Yuri Alberto. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the West Ham Network. I'm Anton, and I'm bringing you a little bit of news this morning. You've probably all buzzing with life all around the news that Mo Kudus has signed for the club. What a fantastic and exciting prospect coming into the club, after such a prolific career so far at the age of 23. Joining the club, Ghanaian international, played in the World Cup, played in the Champions League, scores goals from left, right, and central of midfield, and can play as attacking midfielder or a striker as well. The guy has got many talents. He's a prolific juggler. He loves to carry the ball, and that's something I think is going to be such an exciting prospect to come in. And we saw the picture from Tim Steidten, coming on the plane with Kudus and what looks like Kudus' girlfriend, who doesn't look too happy, but I think that's just maybe when the picture was taken. But essentially, we've all been waiting for that picture of the plane and Steidten and Kudus on it. And that seems to be the theme of what's going on, especially when it's a Steidten signing. David Moyes thanking Steidten and the club for getting the job done and bringing in this quality player. And it shows where West Ham are in terms of bringing players in at the highest level and the highest standard and challenging other clubs around Europe for some of these players' signatures. But like I said at the start, it's not finishing here because West Ham have opened talks with Corinthians from Brazil over a Brazilian international striker, Yuri Alberto. Now, listen, I'm not going to pretend to say that I know everything about this guy because I know nothing about this guy. So what would and why would I do a video? Well, it's our job within reason to go and dig into a little bit of information and try and find out a little bit of a scouting report for you. So what we do is we try and pick out some of his attributes, what he potentially looks like he can do. You have a look at little videos, and then we build up a little bit of a judgment on the player. But Tim Steidten has actually headed out to Brazil. We're led to believe from all the reports that he is looking to go and have direct conversations with Corinthians about bringing Alberto to West Ham. He only signed a 5-year deal with Corinthians in January after returning to the club from Zenit St. Petersburg, so has played in Europe before. He's also capped by Brazil. So that is something, I think, to be honest, that part is not, without all due respect, they do cap quite a lot of players, the Brazilians and the South Americans and Argentina, etc., etc., etc. But he don't think there's any denying that this player is potentially an exciting prospect. He's far more unknown than any of the other players that West Ham have brought in this month. And he spent all but 5 months of his 6-year footballing career in the Brazilian homeland. He was a Santos Academy graduate, and he has 4 goals and 2 assists in 19 appearances this season, which did go ahead and earn him his Brazilian cap in May's friendly with Morocco. And it could be a little bit of smart business with West Ham. And does this mean that agent Paqueta is doing his work? Because we do know that Paqueta is good friends with Alberto, so that could be another reason for bringing him in. I've seen a lot of people talking online and saying, is this a potential signing to keep Paqueta happy? I don't necessarily think it is, because I think when you actually look at the attributes of what the player is capable of doing, then you can maybe start to see some of the build-up of what he is capable of bringing into the club. He is a direct footballer. He is a very, very good dribbler of the ball, and he's very composed in front of goal. And those are the 3 attributes that when you look at some of our signings, especially the attacking signings, and also when it comes to the players that currently play for the club and what David Moyes is looking at, these are attributes that really would work well within our squad, especially when he plays up front as a number 9. But one of the really impressive things that he does offer to us is his acceleration. He is pretty frightening, actually, to be honest. So over a short distance, he is and can be and look and probably will get beat. But on the longer distances, he is confident that he can get a head start on any of the opposition players. And that allows him to get past quite a lot of defenders with a bit of ease. And that is really one of his, if not his, one of his biggest attributes. Now, despite being 6 foot tall, he is really, really sturdy. He's really strong. He's got the big upper body strength, which allows him to, hold the ball up really well. And his link up play is also quite good at bringing in all the other midfielders into play. He's a very good finisher, like I've said. Some of the biggest reasons why he is a wanted man, because he knows how to put the ball into the back of the net. He is naturally right-footed, but his left foot isn't bad at all. And he's also very good with his head, to potentially convert those opportunities that JWP comes in with. Now, what helps him with all of this is the fact that he has got an immense pace, his acceleration, which allows him to burst beyond the opposition defense to give himself slightly more chance to pick a spot and put the ball into the back of the net. And he seems to perform really well in tight spaces. If you look at Paqueta's style of play, if you watch him, particularly in this season as well, but he's done it throughout his whole career, he's been doing this kind of standing off and holding the opposition while he looks up and looks around. Alberto, when you look at him, really has that similar vibe. He really likes to play close to his opposition, sometimes putting them into a false sense of security, because then they commit to a tackle and he's gone. He's gone. He's got that ability to invite defenders in, and then he's ready to drop a shoulder, knock the ball by them, and beat them purely on his pace and power, and heads for goal. He heads for goal. In the final third, he is dynamic as well. He's very intelligent, and his movements inside the box can also be very dangerous. His ability to play with his back to goal is very impressive, which is something I think West Ham really desperately, look for and cry out for in a striker. But that is also the fact of it depends on if his team are entering in the final third. Now, we saw West Ham score 7 goals in 3 games, 2 games in a row where we scored 3 goals in each of them. And you can see when we're on the break, that's something we offer. But when you bring a player like Kudus in, like that may change the style and offering of what West Ham are going to offer, especially in the final third. And he likes to create goal scoring opportunities. He absolutely does. And he's very efficient in linking up with his opposition players as well. Now, Yuri is an interesting one because I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I know absolutely everything about him. I don't. We do a little bit of due diligence, like I said. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring you some of his stats, his career stats in his short career so far. The boy is only 22 years old, born in Sao Jose in Brazil. Being capped once from Brazil, but not scored a goal for them yet. But in the Brazil's top league, he has played 105 games, scoring 34 goals and assisting 7 of them. He's played for Sport Club Internacional, 85 goals for them. 85 games with 31 goals and 5 assists. Corinthians, he's played 73 times with 21 goals and 9 assists. Played for Santos, 16 games, 1 goal, 1 assist. And Zenit St. Petersburg, 15 games, 6 goals and 4 assists as well in his full career. So he's also played in the Europa League, so he knows a little bit about Europe. That doesn't mean he's the finished article. I don't think by any means he's a finished article. It's an interesting one, though. It really is an interesting one, but something makes me think that if Tim's on the plane, there's something we need to take serious about it. Apparently, there's a rumor that we're looking at a couple of players, but I think that Yuri Alberto is coming out on top as the first option. So, like I said, I don't claim to know a huge amount about the geezer, but that's me done my little bit of due diligence. That's me giving you a little bit of the information on him. What do you think? Let me know. Put it in the comments. Give us your honest feedback. We appreciate it. Do you like us doing the scouting reports, you could say? Then put that also in the comments as well. If you are new around here, hit that cheeky subscribe button. Why not? It gives our channel a really good helping hand. And yeah, it's been a pleasure speaking to you again. And join Russ later on for the old ratings for the game at the weekend, which I'm still buzzing about. And I've just only got my voice back from. Anyway, take it easy, everyone, and come on, you Irons.